once again to Candid Conversations with Liz. I am Liz, and I just want to welcome you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for being with us this evening. Thank you so much for taking out time to be with us this evening. And we've been running series, different topics on the show, and today, we're bringing you something that we don't really talk about, but is very, very important, and we need to pay attention to. And I have amazing guests today with me on the show. Trust me, you want to meet them. You want to hear what they have to say. You want to hear how they're going to dissect this topic today. The topic of discussion today is passion and bills. Passion and bills. And I just want to say thank you for us this evening. I can see we have people online already connected. Thank you so much. Yeah, Emmanuel Ejoma, I see you. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you. So let's get right into it. I'll be introducing my amazing guests today, and I would start with my brother. I call him my brother from another mother. Yes. His name is?
My name is Ehis Ifada.
All right. Mr. Ehis Ifada, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
Okay, my name is Ehis Ifada, a husband, and a husband of one wife, and some beautiful daughters.
Some beautiful daughters.
Yes,
Trust me, they are beautiful.
they're
Beautiful.
beautiful daughters. And God is helping us. We're doing ministry also alongside business and work. So this is just something little about myself.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for being on the show. I really appreciate your presence here today. And I have my powerful coachee in the house today. We call her different names. One of the names I call her, and I know I'm going to be in trouble for this, but right now I own the show, so I can say what I want to say, right? I call her Electricity. Yes, that's our coach. She's an author, an amazing, amazing, amazing coach. Please, Ma, could you just introduce yourself?
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining the show. My name is David. I'm a lover of Christ, a wife, a mother, a daughter. I do career, and I'm a finance enthusiast. I love to talk about money. I think that
Oh, yes, she loves to talk about money. That is for fact. She loves to talk about money. And her book is titled, yeah, it's about the Benjamins. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, Ma, for being on the show today. And we have this topic before us. And I just pray that at the end of this show, people would begin to see reasons why they need to balance their passions with the bills. Because we have bills piling up these days and it's not even funny. And homes, there are so many homes that have gone through so much suffering, so much problems, so much issues regarding this particular topic. So I want us to just understand and see reasons why we need to move above and really conquer this issue at hand. So, passion and bills. Could you just tell me what, when we say passion, what does it really mean, sir?
Okay, thank you for having me again, Lizzie. Um, Quite interesting topic. The word passion, as defined, is a strong desire for a thing. This is what it means. Passion is one thing that is said that drives a man, and is so important in the life of every man. Passion, the life. If you do not have passion for things or something, then there's a question, there's an issue. So passion is part of life. It's something that is expected that every human should have and possess. But then the joining of these two and bills require that a critical look is looked, a critical thought is given to it. You don't just assume things, you look into it. Bills and passion, there's a divide. So I want to believe by the end of this conversation, we'll be able to look into it in details and put some word. Right now, you just want me to throw some light on passion, I suppose.
Yes,
So I'll
yes.
stop there for now.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you so much. Ma, bills. You know, you deal with money a lot. So, what are bills?
Okay, it's thank you for having us, and for me, this is a bit of a deja vu. Thursday, we're on a platform together.
Together, right? Yes, yes, that's true. That's true.
You know, my husband was like, "It looks as if you guys are making a habit of this thing."
That's true.
Yeah, so this is a very interesting topic, and I would start with the passion part. Relationship makes the world go round. Human beings were all relational animals. But as Pastor A's rightly said, without passion, then things don't make sense. But what we see in relationship is the passion, the emotional part, it makes people suspend their sense. In my book that I just launched, I have a column that talks about till death do us part. You know, the traditional marriage vow is death doing us part. But we see that in marriages, relationships right now, debt, bills is parting homes faster
Very true, ma'am.
than death. What that means is that the passion, that gish gish feeling, is not enough to sustain a relationship. The weight of bills, real time scenarios. I tell young couples that wait until I'm a Yoruba woman. My name is Oluwatuminino, and I love my name, as I like to tell people. So I'm going to say this in Yoruba, and I will translate it for a non-Yoruba audience. That when we give birth to a child, we say "Ekwe womo." That means we are welcoming a child. So I tell people that ọmọ kọ́ ló bí o, owó ló bí. What that literally means is that it is not child you gave birth to, it is bills. As the child is growing,
Wow.
the bills are growing. And I now see people genuinely struggling with this, which is part of what drove my desire to write the book, to help people actually liberate themselves from bills. Bills are a reality of life. Everything costs money. While I was in school, and I'm sure that still prevails till now, they said there is no romance without finance. So for you
Yes,
to
yes,
even
yes.
have a proper romantic relationship, you need money. But when you're used to spending money on just the two of you, and I don't want to take my time too much, but let me just lay a good foundation. When you are used to spending money on just the two of you, remember one of the things I said in my introduction is that human beings, we are built for relationship. I was speaking with a young man recently, and I was looking at his money habits, and I said, guy, you are going to enter trouble when you get married, though. And he's like, is it not just me and my wife? I said, actually, there's something called in-laws. He said, you mean I'll give them money? I said,
Oh.
oh yeah? Like, he was shocked. He was really
Wow.
shocked. Like, I said, welcome to reality check.
In this
For-
our African.
in this South Africa.
Oh wow. Wow.
So yeah, the bills are very real. Passion is good, but passion without knowledge, without wisdom, leads to crisis. And I believe that is why we're here. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you, viewers. Thank you. I see the buzz. Thank you so much. Yeah, Follow Show at Adekboju. Yes, that's our coach's sweetheart. Thank you so much, sir, for joining. Benny Tams, thank you. And they're saying here that the audio, I don't know if it's been fixed. Okay. Thank you. I hope we can hear right now. All right. Thank you so much. Victory Francis, I see you. Thank you. Rume Akpotive. Oh, hi, Becca. Thank you so much for joining. Amazing. That's my colleague. Yeah. So Victory Francis says, Mrs. Adekboju, nice to have you here. Lucy Odimegu. All right. Okay. Still addressing the audio issue. Yeah. Thank you so much, Lucy. I see you. Laura Yagan. Hi. I see you. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Childish. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. Good to have you here. We have Casey Buko. Thank you so much for joining, Casey. He says, I see my people. Kudos to you all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. We have Faruna Idoko. Thank you. Thank you. And then we have Afolayan Tumishi. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So, I'd like to ask, because the society we find ourselves right now, people are so passionate about certain things. Like you see guys, and this is not just about guys, ladies as well are passionate. They have a dream, they have something they are pursuing, and somehow it encroaches into the family life, their relationships, their marriages. Do you have like a real life experience, either personally or someone you know that has experienced something like this, and how it impacted on the person's relationships or marriage? Can you share something? Do you have anything that you'd like to say?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Uh, I mentioned to you that when this topic was brought and you said this is what I was going to be talking about, uh, instantly the picture of a real life situation that just addressed just popped up.
Oh, wow.
Now, you see, I tell people, I've often said it, just as I said from the intro, there's nothing wrong with passion. Passion is beautiful. That's what drives a man. Anybody, every human. If you're not driven, if you don't have something you're passionate about, then we can question your existence. But you see, to balance that with bills takes it to another dimension. I have a young man who is actually good in artwork. He draws very well, and he does these cards. These birthday cards and all of these cards, anniversary cards. He does good job with it. Excellent. As a matter of fact, the place where this guy works in UTC, every other artist I know around will come to meet him to say, help us do some sketches, help us do this, help us do this. And they pay him for that.
Oh, wow.
So he stands the chance of even making much more. But you see, the problem is, every time you come around, you hardly find him. He's not there. And each time I call, where are you? Because jobs will come. Sometimes I get jobs to say, okay, we're giving this to one person here, one top government official. We need to do something. It's this person's birthday. We need to do this. And I'm calling, and we pay him well. But he's hardly ever found at his duty post. So one day I sat him down and asked, what is your problem? What is wrong with you? That's when he started, music is my passion. I love music. I want to give my all to music. He said, bros, when I blow today, you see all this, we will not talk about it anymore. I said, but you have bills to pay. While you're chasing this passion of yours, can you sit at this point of yours where you're doing this artwork that gives you money every day? And I'm very sure this guy makes nothing less than a minimum of 15,000 every day. So multiply that in a month. That's huge.
Yeah.
But you see, this guy is not there. One of those days, I got a call from him. Boss, I'm going through a lot. There's a lady that we got married. The baby, we just had a baby. I can't pay bills. I can't discharge them from the hospital and everything. And few days before that day, I was looking for this guy to give a job to. He told me he was somewhere singing. I said, so I asked him, were you paid? He said, no, that's just something I love to do. I was like, but you have bills to pay. So why don't you sit in your duty post while you do this? And later, you see, this is what I say to people. I said, when your passion cannot pay your bills, see it as a hobby. Put it aside. Get a job. Get something that can finance your passion.
True.
Until you get to that point, leave it as a hobby and get a proper job. I think I'll stop here for now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And vulnerable here. Because every day you have bills to pay. If we are not careful, you move from morning till evening. You come back home, you come and still meet the work, because it's all about the bills. And now when I talk about passion, I'm talking about passion for the people you really care about. And you actually don't have time for passion anymore. So it's all about the bills now. I want to pay the bills. I want to pay the bills. I want to pay the bills. But the relationship that matters to me, I do not have time for it. There's this principle, it's a global principle. I'll just run through it shortly for people that have not heard about it before. The 80-20 rule. It says that 20% of what we do is what governs 80% of our output. I was with a group of people, and I would want you to take this home. I like to give people assignments. Sit down and think about it, because that would help you know if you are balancing your bills with your passion. And I said, okay, let's do a check on our time. What is important to you? Like 60 to 70% of the people there said, family is important to me. I said, okay, good. Now let's look at your time. How many of you spend up to 60%, 70% of your time with your family? And it was zero. And we kept reducing. And we found out that a number of us spend less than 5% of our time with it. I'm already laughing because the example I want to give, I'm sure people will be laughing. Less than 5% of us spend time with the people we love. Attention. In my book, I spoke about attention. Whatever you give attention to grows. There was a news that was going around about, I think they called it workplace accidents, about two people in politics that impregnated each other. When you do not give, I'm sure we saw that. It was all over the news now. I can't remember the person's their position then. Yeah, because this is what happens. When you do not give attention to that man, that woman, that child that you were passionate about, and it's all about the bills. It is a function of time. You will pay the bills. You will go on the expensive vacations. Just 5 days. I know people that go on vacation and they come back quarreling because what had happened is that it is two strangers that went on vacation. It's like, and they just wasted the money. So what am I saying? The bills are important, as we established, but equally, you must make time for your passion. If it is important to you, you must make time for it. If that man is important to you, you must constantly court each other. If that woman is important to you, you must constantly court each other, because there must be a balance between passion and bills. Thank you.
Oh wow. Wow, interesting. So I would follow up with this question now. Can following your passion ultimately bring you happiness, not minding the bills involved? As in just being very focused on your passion. Can it bring you full happiness? Like, can it make you fulfilled without really having to consider the bills involved? Because there are some people that they don't really care. It's all about their passion. It's about their passion. This is what I'm passionate about. I'm going on with it no matter what. Would it really bring happiness to you? Let's say, for instance, a man is following his passion. Like he said, music, right? Music is his passion. And the wife has said, okay. Okay, because you were talking about, that's why I was.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So maybe you should take it first, then if you have something else to add.
So, the first thing I would say is, and I've worked with quite a number of people, that's why they call me coach. I actually like passion you are talking about. What is it even about? That's the first thing you have to answer. I see a lot of people making long-term decisions based on start to me. A woman called me from the US and she was just going on and on and on and on, and honestly I didn't understand that for what she was saying. The summary is that she got a good job in Canada. Welcome to single motherhood. And she was like, what does that mean? I said, okay, if you've had a candid conversation with your husband and your husband said, do not, for whatever reasons, I'm not delving into that. And you are insisting that the money is important to you. Just look 3 years, 5 years down the line. Are you okay with being it? And that just changed. And she was like, that is emotional blackmail. I said, that is the truth.
It's just the truth, yes.
Because every time in life, we need to be able to determine what is important. Do you want to be a big person outside? You want to be on the billboard and the whole world is clapping for you. But inside, we see people like that. Inside, your wife does not know you. Your children do not know you. You are raising vagabonds. I've had to turn down job opportunities in the earlier days of our marriage. Because I'm like, I don't want to get home. I married a godly man, yes. And you put a man in a situation where sin becomes easy. Story now starts. Actually, you see, they wanted, we go at, all those English that men are now turning around. Nobody knows what to say again.
English is.
So I told myself, no, this is not what I want. It is not important enough for me. So the answer to that is there is no yes or no to it, because it's dependent on individuals. But before you answer that question, I'm very strong on purpose. Why are you here? At the end of the day, we would give account of this life. So you ask yourself, when I'm giving the account of my life, is it okay to say that I had 1 million followers, I had 30 million followers? Is that what will give me fulfillment? Or is it okay that I built a big enterprise? I am raised as one of the women that built Nigeria. In the next 1,000 years, if this world has not ended, when they are writing the almanac of Nigeria, my name will stand out there. Is that what is important to me? Or is it important to me to say that I raised a generation that stand out? And with that, you can now start defining your passion. And you will now be able to put time and focus to it. I hope that helps.
Yes, it does. Do you have something to say?
Okay, just she mentioned it already from the beginning. Mr. Tunu said something about talking about passion, and she got to the point when she started saying our lives as human is relational. You see, what is the essence of this passion when you're not considering, unless you're living alone, unless it's just you? Any passion that make you irresponsible requires a check on you. Passion shouldn't make you irresponsible. True. We can fulfill purpose. We can chase our dreams. We want to fulfill passion and do the things that we're passionate about. But the very moment you have bills to pay, the very moment there are bills and you have dependents, you have people who look up to you. I say this, okay, fine, let's look at it maybe in a family context or in a relationship context where a boy is going out with a girl, or maybe they're dating, maybe they're planning to get married, or they are married already, they have family. You can't be talking passion when there are bills. As a matter of fact, the first point of call will be, how do I settle these bills? She just mentioned the bills are not, they are piling up. They are coming per second. And it will be wrong of you to say, let my wife be the ones to do this. See, from the Bible, is defined already. The man is the provider. He's the provider. Good, you have passion. But one thing you must understand is there comes a time where your passion cannot be forward until you have a means. And that must be looked into, whether it's the woman or the man. The very moment you cannot fuel your passion, you don't have the wherewithal to make it come to limelight. I give another story. I heard this guy, Let Go, they called him. Okay. He said something. He said he has always loved music. He's been in the music thing for a long time. He said, but there was a time he couldn't gain access. He doesn't have the platform. There was nothing. He was seeing his passion not coming to be. But there was something he knew relational. You need people around you. By the time you have the trophy, you want people to celebrate around you. Why have the trophy and lose your family or lose people you love? So there's need for a balance.
Wow. Viewers, are you listening? So much insight already. So much insight. And please, viewers, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so. What are you waiting for? And please leave me a thumbs up. All right, thank you so much. And we have more comments coming in. Mary Ubenyo, thank you so much. I see you. She says passion is good, but passion without knowledge leads to crisis. That is so true. I heard that one. Thank you, Mrs. Adepoju. Olatunde Togun, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. He says, great. Chiama Dare, Chi baby. Thank you for joining. Thank you. And Benny Tam says, wow, passion without knowledge leads to Christ. Wisdom Paul, I see you. I see you. Afolayan Tumishe says, when your passion can't pay your bills, see it as a hobby, right? Mary Ugbenyo also says, when your passion cannot pay your bills, see it as a hobby and put it aside. All right, get a proper job. Thank you, Pastor Hayes. Thank you so much. You see, we need to really know how to balance these things. You can't focus completely on one and then the other is suffering. Bills are real. I'm sure every Nigerian knows that by now, right? Even the children know, because their portion of snacks has even reduced. So they understand. So they already understand it. All right. Okay. So Casey says, my dear pastor, thanks for that line. When your passion is not paying, that should be a hobby. Make money first, then come back to your so-called passion. And he says, who passion help? That's funny. Passion is helpful though, you know. Yeah, Mary Gwenyo says, whatever you give grows. It does grow, right? Audu Mabel, hi ma'am, I see you. Thank you so much for joining. She says, yes, so make time for your passion. Very important. Okay, Mary Gwenyo says, absolutely, ma. There must be a balance, right? Innocent Father, hi, I see you. She says there must be a balance. Yeah, Akambi Oluwatobi, thank you so much for joining. He says this topic, they remind me of the movie Acrimony. The argument is still on. May we find understanding and balance. Amen to that. Afolayan Tumishe says, please, what is passion? And can passion be monetized? That's a question. So I'll throw that question. Can passion be monetized?
Maybe she's the money.
The money magnet. The money woman.
The
yes.
money woman.
Who did you say ask the question?
Afolayan Tumishe.
Afolayan Tumishe, if you are not monetizing your passion, you are sleeping on a bicycle.
I was expecting that.
A lot of us leave money on the table. And have you gotten my book? You need to go and buy that book. Where is the money? Part of the places where the money is in your passion. Though, as Pastor he said, you know, you have to apply wisdom. As I said, I've interacted with quite a number of people. I'm going to use myself as an example, and you will find it interesting. I wish my siblings were on this call, because I know I showed them 911 when we're growing up. I'm the eldest.
Wow, 911.
Me myself, I know. So, by default, and it was interesting, by default, I just have this energy. You guys heard Lizzie introduce me as electricity. So, I will poke my nose into things that literally does not concern me. And I will carry it on my head like government work. And I will be vexing. But with time, so it was a passion. There are things that God has put into you, and you need coaches, you need mentors, you need understand how is it. But I'm trying to make it real so that we can all relate with this. I'll give you 2-3 examples. You'll be able to relate with it. The Bible says God is a just God. So the reason why you don't have money is not about God, it's about you. You need to understand it. And over time, I've had problems with relationships because people felt like my oversabi was too much. I think, you know, normal people will just look away from this thing. But do you know what? I'm not normal. Because if I am normal, I will not have my edge. I will not have my advantage. Now, with maturity, wisdom, and learning and trainings, I now realize that this energy that I'm using to poke my nose into places that does not matter, places where they do not value it, I will use that energy to do direct focus. Sit down with people that genuinely need help. And when I started understanding that and working on that passion, I was able to work with various people. So much so that I wrote a book that sold over in 1 week. Yeah, hey, it's not money, it's passion. I tell people, aproko is your hobby. The energy you are using, no, that's why I said let's be sincere here. The energy you are using to scatter homes, and everybody is saying Tatafo don't come. My sister, my brother in the Lord, go and open a blog. People are making money driving traffic on blog. You are doing village amebo that they are insulting you about. Can you like make money? My husband knows that I like all this. He will go like it. Look, can you do normal examples? And he's here and he's smiling, but at least, honey, I've done 2 normal examples now. Oprah Winfrey, the queen of talk. Like you are just talking, cha 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 cha. Go and refine that talk. People are talking. In 1 hour, they are paying them $2,000. Your own talk, they are not giving you 10 naira. Are you normal? Go and think now. Your problem is not that you are passionate. Your problem is you do not know how to monetize the passion. When Oprah Winfrey first went to, history has it that when she first went to interview to be a talk show caster, they were like, see, you are too emotional. Every small thing you will be crying. But that is our edge. That's why, and that's why I'm telling you, that's why you are not normal. What you have is not a bad thing. But talent, so to say, are neutral. It can be used negatively or positively. You are the one that will now make up your mind and bring out the positive part. You have tenacity. It's not everybody that has tenacity. That tenacity, you can use it for something else. And you bring in money. $1 You know, I told you I'm a Yoruba woman. As in, you'll be talking like this, dollar will be landing.
Oh, yeah.
So yes, you can monetize your passion, but you have to be able to please read my book. Nothing in its raw state is worth much. The reason why you feel like your passion cannot be monetized right now, you are not bringing money out of it right now, is because it has not been refined. It hasn't gone through a process. Once you refine that passion, you allow process work be done on you, the passion will bring in money.
Oh, wow.
So, Michelle, I hope that helps.
Wow. Wow. Do you
Nice
have a
one.
thought?
Yeah, I just a little addition. She said it all already. That talking about if your passion can be monetized. The truth of the matter, the ultimate goal, that's what I believe. The reason why most people who say they're passionate about something is to be able to live a life better than they first started. Is to be able to live a life that has some, that, so for you to monetize your passion, there's nothing wrong with it. As a matter of fact, it makes it easier to make more money. Because one, you're doing something you love, something you really want to do. Anytime you're waking up in the middle of the night is something you want to do. So why don't you just find the best ways to see how that can become money? As a matter of fact, that helps you pay your bill without stress. Because most people are working, but not like they love the jobs they're doing. But because than to do those jobs. But now that you're doing something you love, why don't you make it, put some money plans around it, possibly learn from her and read her book so that you know how to do that. So I think that will help. Sincerely, passion should be monetized. I really think so. It makes it easier to make more money.
Pastor, he's just raised a very interesting thought, and please let me cap on that. I actually see that a lot, and it grieves my heart. As he rightly said, and just ask yourself what you are doing right now. Do you love doing it? And I tell people, and that's why you are a mediocre in that thing, because you're just doing it like to barely survive. You just like, this one is paying the bills. I tell people that working on something you do not love is like marrying a woman you do not love.
Oh, wow.
You cannot excel in it. So you have 2 options. As I said, while you're doing that, you're working on your passion offline because you have to pay the bills. Or while I was in school, there's this guy that said something, very naughty human being, I should go and look for him. But now that I've grown up, I'm like, okay, makes sense. Then, when we're in school, like, I'm looking for love. I want to marry the woman I love. The guy now came one day, I told you the other guy is very silly. The guy now came one day, I said, no, I'm not going to marry the woman I love. Everybody looked at him as in,
How come
how
you
your
change
own
your
be?
mind?
And he's like, I'm going to love the woman I marry.
Oh,
Wow. Wow.
So he has made up his mind that it's not going to be about gish gish. Anybody I marry, because you build love.
Yeah,
So you can
true.
build it.
True.
learn to
So
love.
yeah, you can learn to love. That's
Yeah,
the truth.
True. I agree.
So you can learn to love that job. Look for the things in the job. And a lot of times when we say we don't love the job, it's actually our mindset. If you have a mindset of gratitude and you go to that job with gratitude and purpose, before you know it, you start loving the job and you'll be able to excel and grow in the job.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I'll just read up. Hopefully there's another question here. All right. So Ray Adeyeye, thank you so much for joining. I see you. And Susan Jasper, thank you. Thank you, Susan. And she says, passion should not make you irresponsible. I totally agree with that. Yeah. She also says, I'm seeing two sides to this passion discussion. Passion in the sense of what you love to do, and passion in terms of relationships. That's very, very true, right? And Flo Auger, that's my sister. Awesome insight. Thank you. I see you. I see you. Thank you so much. Benny Tam says, yeah, passion shouldn't make you irresponsible. Sarah Ogogo, thank you so much for joining. She says, passion that can't pay your bills should be your hobby. Bills are not smiling. Yes, they are not smiling, right? Yes. And Casey says, so this is what I am seeing here. Pastor His is seeing this from the man's perspective, work. And Auntie Tinu is seeing it from the woman's perspective, family. For me, balance is key. Thank you for pointing that out. Flo Oga says, I remember those days I had to monetize my passion. I had a passion for feeding kids very healthy local foods. I turned it into a business that grew so large, and I began to make local kids foods. And that's so true. That's my sister talking, and I bear witness to that.
I remember that pap.
Yes, the pap. And she would do different flavors of pap, coconut pap, granite pap, different paps, carrot pap. Yes, she did.
Yeah.
And she was making good money. Cool cash. Yes. I shared from that money too. Okay, so Afolayan Tumishe says, the reason you don't have money isn't about God, it's about you. So true. So true. Money is not going to fall from the skies, right? So that's very true. Ifoma Malik, hi, I see you. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you. I see you. Thank you so much for joining. Thanks for the insights. You're welcome, ma'am. Oluwabumi Okeshala, that's my ore. Yes. Hi. She says, love this particular insight from Coach Tumi. You can learn to love who you marry and what you do. It is a decision. Yes, it is guys. Okay, so let me ask for our singles now. What are the warning signs for singles to look out for when it comes to passion, as in somebody following passion and everything? Are there warning signs that you can see and be like, this one is all about passion? No, let me not go and enter gbese. Let me run away from my life. You understand that kind of thing? Yeah. Are there warning signs?
Okay, let me say something to that. Yes, there can be warning signs. Okay. Now, for instance, as I said, just as we've been discussing, you must understand that you're not alone, especially when you have a relationship. For singles who are actually who are going into relationship, or they are in a relationship, the very moment a lady walks up to you and said, this is my passion, and for that reason, there's no time, she gives you no time, no attention, and they're hardly found. That's already showing that, hey, how do you manage that? Then for the guy who said, I have a passion, this is my passion, he doesn't care about your birthdays, He doesn't even know if he should buy you. The truth of the matter, he's not your father to buy you everything you need, but at least he should show some concern.
Yeah.
Or even see, maybe he sees one small rose flower. Talking about rose flower. Anyway, one small rose flower to say, oh, I appreciate you,
Looks
take
like
this.
there's a
And he's
story
not
about
doing
rose
that.
flower.
Oh, of course, yes.
Yes, I want to hear it. I
Of
want to
course,
hear
yes.
it.
Of course, yes. You see, and he's not doing all of this simply because he's chasing a passion. As I said, chasing your passion shouldn't make you irresponsible. We are relational beings.
Yeah.
The very moment you're chasing your passion, you must be mindful of the fact that you have people around you. Families, friends, neighbors, and all of that. While you're doing that, be mindful of your environment. Be mindful of the things that you have. Relationship. For singles, the very moment a guy comes and said it's passion, and he's not caring for you, he's not doing what he needs to do, he's not creating that time, I think there's a need to sit down and have a candid talk. Just like we're doing right now. Yes. Okay. There's a need to do such. To make him see things. See, appreciate your passion. And I'm committed to helping you achieve this passion. But can you be mindful of the fact that there's a relationship here? Because what we're talking about is a balance. And there's a need for it. And that's why I said 3 options for a guy who says he's in a relationship and is not seeing things the right way he needs to see it. I present 3 options to you. I said 1 is either you get a job. That's what I would advise the lady. 2 is either you leave the guy to be poor or you leave the guy to stay alone. Decision. Do you want to be alone? Do you want to be poor? Or do you want to get a job? Whichever one makes sense to you, go for. But I would advise you, if you get a job, you can get the means to service your passion and you can keep your relationship. So it's a win-win at that point. So why don't you do that? That's my opinion.
Auntie?
Okay. As they've said, we are taking this from, and I'm enjoying this because I'm hearing the man's perspective and I'm the woman. So now, to the singles. Number 1, who are you? While you're entering a relationship, what do you actually want? And I will be giving very practical examples. As a young single girl, I knew that there were some things for me that were just basic common sense. So your sense, it must be there. Like, that's why you see all those funny jokes about marriage, because people suspend sense and they say they're in love. That's not love, that's stupidity. You must have sense. Before I got married, there was this guy that was really dancing around me like, and people could not understand why I wasn't agreeing to go into a relationship with him. But young as I was then, I looked at his money habits. I saw red signs. I'm talking about some 17 years ago. He did a job, made $1 million. I now asked him, for people that are close to me, I know how to ask trick questions. I now asked him, I said, this money, what do you want to use it like? He said, no, I will take care of you. As a man, as a woman, he will be doing. In my head, I'm like, Bese. I ran. Like, that immediately told me how he was going to spend that money. I knew that I could not enter a relationship with him. He blew that money and went because he believed that tomorrow will be better. However, for someone like me, I don't think like I was actually like, this 1 million, they are selling plot of land there for 50. He said, no, I'll make bigger money. It is the one of 5 million I want to buy. I don't want to continue this story so that I won't leak the person's identity. But over the years, I just knew that we're not for each other. When I met my husband, he's not the man he is today. I'm not sure he remembers, but I remember. And those were one of the things that sealed my mind. The first gift my husband would give me was a book. He sent it from Lagos to me. When I got that book, I said, no, this one is talking sense. Me and him can relate. When you go out with a guy, he blows all the money plus you people's transport money. When you are now going, he's not telling you, babe, you get money there. Hey, babe. Common sense is not telling you that this one will blow school fees. I'm sure you guys will be laughing where you are, but there are warning signals if you will borrow yourself brain. I tell people, borrow yourself brain. In the days of MMM, they were telling me about a guy that entered National Hospital. I said, what happened? They say he used the money he wanted to use to do wedding, to do MMM. MMM now crashed. I said, okay, I hope the human being that wanted to marry him has the sense of breaking that relationship. Because if it is me, Oluwatomi, there is nobody that can beg me. That human being will beg, is going to bet. He has shown you he's a gambler.
Yes.
You will come one day, will have gambled away the house. That's so, if it is me, I will just kneel down and be doing Thanksgiving. I don't care, we'll fix it. So there are, as I said, I'm a Yoruba woman. My people have a saying that the eye that will follow you into old age. It is not when you are young that you be doing like this. You already know that eye is not going far. You have somebody. Once the person is seeing your friend is already borrowing money from everybody around you. You don't know that this one is continental disgrace.
Wow.
It's true.
So just advise yourself. It's not by force. Your own will come. You will get correct man like my husband. Let him go. 1 million, call the other ball. We will make more money. I hope that helps. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. It does help. It does help. So are there strategies or tools that couples can use to like plan for financial impact when it comes to this passion thing? Sit down and talk about it and plan together. Are there strategies that we can use?
Am I going?
Who wants to go?
Yeah. Okay, go. No problem.
Okay, so let's start with the singles. I know these are difficult conversations because it's easier, and I keep asking people, what do people discuss during courtship? Your eyes is black.
Yeah.
Your hair is coily. You have figure eight. There's one young man that is smiling here. Those things sound nice, but you need to sit down and have your money goals.
True.
Extremely important.
Money date, right?
Yes, exactly. The same way you have passion dates. And that's why we said this is a balance.
Balance, yes.
So there's the emotional part.
Yeah.
A man wants to feel good. Honey, you look nice. Honey, I just love the way you do me. You know, you have to be able to make your man, your woman feel good. You are the king in my world. You should equally have money dates where you discuss crucial conversations. You do not leave it to assumption. What kind of school do you want do we want our kids to attend? What kind of life do we want to have? How regularly do we want to go on vacation? As in, everything is not an emergency. In fact, when you are having emergency, just understand you are not planned. This thing might be paining you, but it's the truth. You know, Sister Lizzie was speaking a little earlier, and she's like, in this season now, even the children are understanding that, and this thing will be paining us, but let's tell ourselves the truth, that snacks are reducing. My brothers and sisters in the Lord, when the children know that things are hard, there's something wrong. That's the honest truth. That means as parents, we have not budgeted very well. You know, the last session that I had with my brothers and sisters, they were saying that the standard is Christ. The Bible says that Jesus knew always what he had to do. When things are meeting you as a surprise, we are not like God. That's the truth. We need to tell ourselves the truth. There are things that are called forecasting. She's talking about tools. Have you been able to forecast yourself in the next 5-10 years? Where do I want to be? And when you are doing forecasting, you are looking at worst case scenario, you are looking at best case scenario. Hope is not a strategy. If dollar hit 5,000 to a naira today, what will I do? This, you don't turn yourself to a social media tyrant. Who will help? You are asking yourself, what will you do? This is a season where billionaires are being bettered, not millionaires.
True.
So you sit down with your partner. We are deficient by design. You accept your strengths. You accept your weaknesses. This is not a teaching, but the Bible says two are better than one. So if two are truly better than one, I said we must touch on the Proverbs now. We are just gisting, so it won't be too hard. That Proverbs 31, before I got married, was a prayer I was praying for myself. That my husband will have confidence in me, even before I met him. The Bible says, and I'm telling you, that because of that woman, her husband had a seat by the gate. Because of her, go and read it. So you are asking yourself, and maybe not so modern, but a modern day example, go and check her life. Susanna Wesley, her husband was a teacher, was the preacher. He was going up and down preaching. Susanna had to take over the affairs of the house. She was the one that was good with finance. Go and read their story. The husband did not understand money. But she was able to cover that deficiency, and she raised generals.
True.
So you have to sit down and ask yourself, both of you sit down, because people's visions are different. Is it bungalow we want to build, or is it duplex? Is it estates we want to build? How much do we need to build it? How long do we need to build it? What is the time we need to build it? What are the sacrifices we need to make? Where do we want our children to be in the next 15, 20 years? But we live our lives to wishful thinking. I say, he's don't carry in Peking, go vacation now. What is happening to us? Like, seriously, are you normal? It's people's life you are using to measure. You know, Sister Liz, you don't change our motto now. What is happening to you? Don't have a focus. You don't have a goal. You are just confused. That's why everything will be emergency. That is why the government will be your problem. Meanwhile, you are your own problem, because you are your own government. You don't have a budget. The beginning of the year, do you sit down? It's very easy to complain about Nigeria and the budget is not working. What is your family budget? Una no pass for your family. What's your family budget? In January, what's your budget for food? What's your budget for fuel? Everything an emergency. So you don't even know what job to do, what job not to do. Thank you. let me calm down.
Well said. Sincerely, she has said it well. Just before I throw a little add to what she has said, I'd like to read a scripture. This scripture, you can add it to every other thing we've said before. Okay. Proverb 24 of strategy, as she mentioned, is sitting down and discussing it. Both of you must be able to discuss and know where you stand, where you are at. No assumption. There's no point anybody hiding anything. The Bible said they were naked and not ashamed.
Sure.
Come out. I gave an instance using myself. You know, when I met my wife, I told her everything she needs to know. First, I said, know this. I'm the first son. I have siblings. From my culture, your siblings are around you. When you get married to a wife, you marry the full family. Just the same way you're getting married to me, you're marrying, I know in the Western and how things are moving, transforming, people say, no, I married the man, I'm not marrying the family. But basically, what was I doing? I was trying to bring reality to the table. And the very place we started from was somewhere in Kubwa. It was a 1-bedroom. I told her, this is what I earn. Then I was earning, what was that again? 48,000 naira every month. She was also working. And she was earning maybe twice what I was earning or 3 times what I was earning. Now, at this point in time, you sincerely do know that no matter what they said, let's contribute in the family, I will not be able to measure up.
True.
And understand it, because we've discussed and I've shared my pay slip with her. She knows what I'm earning and I'm open to it because we've discussed it. That became the best strategy we needed to have. True. That we've discussed. So she can now understand what I'm bringing to the table. By the time I pay tithe, pay offering, take transport and everything, she'll tell me, don't worry, I'll get soup things, I'll get stew things, I'll do this. And sometimes before the end of the month, I can't even pay my transport to the office. She'll tell me, okay, we're going to work together, we'll pay. Now, what am I saying? We evolved from that very space to where I started earning more than she was earning. And because it is open, she knows, we've discussed it, which I'm saying the best strategy is to sit and discuss. Know where you are at. And from there, make plans. And that's what we've done. Discuss every place we're at and take decision and move to the next step. I think the best strategy this means sit down, discuss where you're at, and nobody should be ashamed to cover up. Open up. That's just it.
Oh,
Thank
wow.
you.
So that's communication, right? Sitting down, laying it bare, opening up to each other, and not being ashamed to say where you are, because these days you see people trying to be what they are not, and that puts you in trouble. I
Strengths.
mean, you need to
Necessary
think
pressure.
about the fact that you need to keep up what you have said. You have to find a way to keep up appearances. To if you told her you are the MD of so company,
Why not?
there are things MDs will do.
So do them.
So you have to do them. Really, you have to do them. But if she knows where you're coming from, babe, this is what I earn. Okay, maybe sometimes some people don't feel comfortable telling a girl they are asking out,
No.
or until you're in a serious relationship. So you open up and tell the person, this is what I earn, okay? But I have a bright future. And I'm sure she sees it in you that you have a bright future. But you need to also work towards it. It's not just having bright future by mouth, right? Okay. So I want us to share stories of success stories of people that have been able to balance passion and bills. If you know couples that have been able to successfully balance these two, and they are living in bliss, in joy and happiness, and there are no issues pertaining to passion clashing with bills in the home. Would you like to share? Do you have any story to share? Later on, I began to realize I was unofficially counseling people, like 3 people in a week, and I didn't even know the magnitude of that until my coach here told me that was a big deal, and I knew I was going to be doing something relationship marriage wise, but I didn't even know how to start. I didn't have a roadmap. I didn't know I had to go into a boot camp, springboard, which I did with my coach here. She's my coach. Oh, like seriously, she coached me till I started candid conversations with Liz. She was the one that held my hands, pushed me to this point, because she just told me that this is something you need to start. I knew I was going to start something, but I didn't know how to go about it. And I had a clarity session with her, and I knew exactly what I was meant to be doing. So it's a passion, but doesn't mean I don't work. I still work. I have an 8:30 to 5 p.m. job that I do right now, and things are better. You understand me? It's my own story, right? And so far, I've been able to apportion time for work, apportion time for my passion, apportion time for my husband, apportion time for the family, the children, the home front in general. It's just us trying to become better by the day, working at it daily, because really we are human beings. It's a continuous thing. We are not human we are beings, so we keep getting better at what we're doing. All right, okay, so enough about me. I don't know if you have any any success story you'd like to share.
I think you've really done a good job with it. I love the fact that you brought it to fore that nobody is perfect. We are all work in progress. We've spoken so much about passion. So, how do we balance this passion in a relationship world? My husband is there. A lot of people ask me, how do you do everything you do? Partners buy in what you're doing. Success is not impossible, but it's going to be more difficult. So I tell people, you must know your partner's momo button. Everybody has a momo button.
Yeah, true.
So for you to be able to balance this passion, you have to get his momo button. Now we are in here in the studio. You can't see the work behind this. Mr. Boladuro is somewhere. He did all of this setup. So kudos to the soldiers that are working behind the sin. And that is how you balance passion. One of my coaches, Shola Adeshaki, Smart Steward, she just had an amazing summit. Like, I told her that we need to give you networking queen. The kind of titans she brought in there. And when she was celebrating, they brought her to the, like, no, the MC is like, no, I can't introduce this one. Are you going to introduce your husband? The husband is, if I was like, I'll tell her, incidentally, we are better than this. It looks as if your husband and my husband has the same characteristics. The guy is camera shy, social media shy, and she's like, see, this is the force behind everything I'm doing. Go and check in the room when you have people flying from all over the world to support what you are doing. Sometimes I look at what she's doing and I'm like, what the? And in the midst of all of that, the home is still intact. Then you understand that there is a balance, because we see people that what you're doing is good, but you cannot carry people along. You can't even carry the person that's closest to you along. Then we start doubting what you're doing. Is it possible? Yes. I tell people, and this is the second example I would give outside. I've spoken a bit about myself, is my husband, about herself. When we read about Auntie Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, you think that woman's time is moi. You think it is beans. Yet you see her dancing on world stage, and her husband comes up. Immediately I saw her husband came up, I told my office people, this is the hero in the story.
Yes, true.
Because the sacrifice, is it possible? Yes, it is. But you must understand your partner. You must understand what makes them tick to carry them along.
True. Would you like to add something to that?
Yes, just a little. You see, when it comes to this, what you're saying, the success stories of people who have followed passion and they're doing well right now and all of that. The truth of the matter is, if we look around us, we'll find a couple of them. One or two you see and know how it is. At the very beginning, it's not always rosy. Not perfect. There are thorns.
True.
And all of that. You see all the hurdles that needs to be crossed and all. But the major thing, as she said, there's need for understanding. Couples need to understand that this is passion and this is the reality. While we're trying to get passion to where it needs to get to, these are basic realities that needs to be attended to. If this understanding is there, there's a place of sacrifice.
True.
Where one is at the back doing what they need to do. But you see, for me, when it comes to that point where the man is involved, as you said, somehow we've been able to split it to the man's side and to the woman's side. I still feel there's always that place where you need to show up. Just show up. Let it not be that months pass by, weeks and everything, you're not showing up as the man. Please show up. Reason why, there's a strong command in the Bible that this is the mandate of the man. And for every time you're not fulfilling that, this discourse said some of these things, that even when you do what you do, ultimately, if the people listening and the guests online and the people following are believers, there's nothing stopping you to pray about things. I want to believe you can pray about everything. It's not I think, I know you can pray about everything. And clarity will be given in all areas. And you find that your ways and the patterns you choose to go about yours is different from the way that's obtainable anywhere else. And you also have your success story. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I agree 100%. So let me put clarity, or a bit of more clarity. Yes, I've and the reason why I'm that strong about it is I feel like so many women has moved into between irresponsibility and not fulfilling their God-given mandate because they just believe like the man has to do it. But if there's anything worse than irresponsible, is a man that cannot provide for his home.
True.
The Bible says that a man that cannot provide for his home is worse than an infidel.
Infidel, yeah.
So as a like, for me it's a given. I think it was yesterday I was just in my husband that one of our family friends called us and she was asking about school. What's my perception on school, blah, blah, blah. And I spoke. When I now finished, she was not like, hey, so how much are you people paying for school fees? And I say it with full sincerity. I say, honestly, I don't know. When I got home and I told my husband, he told me the price too. But you know, for me, it's not information that I don't know. I know he told me. I'm not storing it. Honestly, it's not my business. I know some people go like, if he hang and he has not hung and he's listening to me, he will not hang. Like when I just say, he hang. I say it under God, and this is candid conversation. And we are making it candid. They insult me in my office. They say to me, what are you doing with your money? I say, how is it your business? I don't know how much they sell tomato in the market. You can ask my house people. Honestly, I don't know. I do not. As a man, and that's because for him it is
a mandate. Is what he knows that is.
So that's why I'm like, there are some discussions we should not be having. So maybe I'm taking it as a giving, like it's a giving now. We know these things, like this is the foundation. So we are doing decking now. The decking is that woman, two are better than one.
Yeah.
Lizzie, this is candid conversation.
Yes,
I'm sure my husband will still hear me. I'm just a Yoruba woman.
I will even read something.
But wait, you know what she just said? So that it doesn't also feel like I'm also saying it from one side. I know a true life story. It just came to mind when she was talking. This woman loves to cook. She's passionate about cooking. And God helping her, she sets up this. She goes out for events to cook. But you see, in the course of her chasing this passion of hers, her children were growing without being, every week after week, she was having events she was going for. But her children were growing up. And you know the fortunate things, most were daughters. And she wasn't paying attention. The husband wasn't around. And before you know it, things started going bad. It got so bad to the point that while she was away, so many things happened to one of the daughter, and a lot happened after that. And she lives with that regret today, that she wished she was around to play the role of a mother, because she left them practically. She was chasing passion and everything. For the woman also, let me not just point to the man. There's a need for a balance. Whatever the passion is, remember there's a mandate.
True.
You have that mandate as given by God. The Bible said you're a helpmeet, and so you must find yourself doing what you need to do in the home. Play your part. Take up your responsibility. If you win in your passion and you lose in your God-given responsibility, it is 1-0. You lost. You lost. So, but you can make a balance. You can have 1-1. She just mentioned the likes of Okonjo Iweala, where you see the husband still smiling and happy around her. Whenever they're calling her for anything, you see the man and the children supporting. That tells me that's a win-win.
Yeah, it is
Strong
possible.
point. Just to, it's a conversation. I was looking at my purpose and what I believed that God was calling me to do. Important to me. And one woman, she's very high there, I won't mention her name. I was in a session she was taking. She said something, it didn't leave me. She said, see, because I understand my woman date, since we are talking about mandate now, this one is woman date.
I love that.
Since I understood my woman date, I understood that I would not have the kind of time that an average woman has. That's so, for my children, I prioritized quality over quantity. Because I know that the time I will spend with them won't be as much as other people because of what I was doing, and that children are good. And I took that. Is here listening. But I tell people that you can teach anybody 1+1. I mean, you see developed countries teaching monkeys how to do things, and that's like taking it very far. So I celebrate excellence, yes. I celebrate skills, yes. But for me, more than anything, is character. And I remember then, I think my daughter was in primary 4 or something, and it was an emotional time for me. And I actually got home that day. This is candid conversation. My husband is listening, and I said, for lunch, or this one, yes. People think I'm not available. People think I'm not sane. But this one, and everything, it goes back to God. Because when you hear all of these things, you go back to God for the wisdom to run your home. And I was sitting at the back. People don't believe me, but I really don't like to talk. I like to talk about money like this. I don't know why they are making faces, so I don't know why they are making
We are
faces,
back
but
to
I really
this.
don't like to talk.
I'm in support.
You don't like to talk.
So I was
Okay.
sitting at the back and I was looking. I had made up my mind. My mother-in-law will like me. You don't have choice. I don't know what your name is. I don't know what you look. It is a decision.
Yeah.
So these are things. So when you deliberately have these goals and you know the goals and under God, you are praying towards it. It will not be perfect. We are all humans, but you're moving towards. It's possible. You can balance the passion, the bills. Look for people. Solomon says there's no Ecclesiastes. Some people say it's not Solomon that wrote it. There's nothing new under the heavens. Whatever you're going through, somebody has gone through it and went through it successfully. If nobody has gone through it, Jesus went through it. The Bible says we do not have a high priest that does not feel what he felt everything. So look for that blueprint. Follow it. Adapt to your situation. Trust God. And it will not be difficult.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Matt. Thank you so much, sir. So, in all of this, we see communication is very key, right? We need to talk about these things. You need to spend time with your partner, your spouse, talking about our passions. What are you passionate about? And please, we need to support each other. Also, it's very key to support your spouse, right? Because the truth is, you have a passion and you're not able to run with it. There's that resentment that sets in at some point. There's that unfulfillment comes in at some point. So we need to learn to support them as best we can. How can we make this better, right? Okay, thank you so much for being here with me, and I'll just read out the remaining comments here so I don't leave anybody out. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Ray Adeyeye says passion is priceless. Oh, Haji Robina, I see you. Thank you so much. It says greetings. Thanks for the insight. Mavi Gerd, that's Vanessa. Hi, Vanessa. Way to go, sis. Thank you. Thank you very much. And my darling husband, Ayodele Bolajiro says, real and good stuff are being said here. Thank you so much. Thank you too for joining us. Adewale Oluwatoyin says, well done, ma'am. Thank you so much, Toyin. Vanny Kitchen says, way to go, sis. Jennifer Agboli, hi ma'am, welcome. She just laughs out loud. Yeah. And Rita Ifada is also laughing. I'm wondering what they're laughing at. At what point? Akambi Oluwatobi says these words, God bless our facilitators and hosts. Amen to that. Akambi says bet Niger. Okay, I think it was the MMM thing we were talking about. Okay, yes. Casey Buko says, as for red flags, just be situational aware and use common sense. Though it is not common. Okay, Ohaji Robina says, when the kids notice that things are reducing, there is a problem.
Yes.
Yeah, you may need to think about that, right? And our darling coach's husband, Folorunsho Adepoju, says, my wife can ask questions for Africa. And the Africa goes Africa. She doesn't leave things to chance. When okay. He says, when toasting her, she asked me before saying yes, safe. Oh, wow. Wow.
So you see,
that's focus. Right? She doesn't want to enter one chance.
at all.
That's why she need Abi 10 chance.
Keke napep with 2 tires. When keke napep, they're supposed to have 3 tires, now have 2 tires. You know they struggle. So that's just it.
Okay. Mary says proper planning for the future prevents emergence. Sorry. Okay. It is built by wise planning. Become strong through common sense and profits wonderfully by keeping abreast of the true. Vanny Kitchen says understanding, honest communication, and for the man to be hardworking and the woman should be willing to back up when the man's finances can't meet up. This is key. That's where the support comes in. When he's down, because he may not always be up there.
Yeah.
There are times like that, even myself talking, we've had that circle, that curve, and I had to step in, step in. It doesn't make you less of a woman, please. Step in. And I know women are not built to shoulder so much financial responsibilities in the home. You need to be the man that you are. Okay? Mary Benyo says balance. Win in your God-given mandate and win in your passion too. Sam Koshak, hi, I see you. Welcome. He says, having a nice time listening to this great topic. Thank you so much. Glad he says, winning in passion minus failing in God-given assignment is 1-0. Afolayo Tumishe says, don't leave your life to chance. So it happens. No, be deliberate about your life and living. All right. Getting to that awesome way to wrap up. There are so many insights here. Thank you so much. I'm so happy you found this really insightful. I bless God for that. Treasure Hunt, thank you so much for joining. Good job, Liz. Thank you. Jennifer Agboli says, it's been a beautiful time. We celebrate you all. And Adebayo Adeola says, got so much value tonight. God bless her. Mom Adepoju. Thank you so much, Adeola. Bless you, Lisa Duro. More grace. Thank you so much. Wow. Such insights today. I'm so grateful to you for coming and sharing your candid opinions. I am so grateful. That's what I can say. Like, thank you so much. Thank you so much for doing this with me. And there's a lot to take home. There's a lot. I'm sure the viewers have had a lot of insights from here. And I just pray that we begin to practice these things, right? And our homes begin to experience the bliss that it needs to experience. Okay. Thank you so much, viewers. If you have not subscribed, please do. I'm still waiting. Thank you. And leave me a thumbs up, please. Like it. Yes, share if you need to share. All right. Very important. Thank you so much. I'd like to just say thank you. Please just accept this as a token. Okay. Who's this? Yes. This is for you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Yes, you're free to do that.
Oh my God. I'm blushing. Yeah. Well, thank you very much. That was our drama now.
I know. And I love the drama. And this is for you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Just a souvenir to remind you that you were once on Candid Conversations. And trust me, you're coming back. Because this topic is really wide, it's broad. And we can't actually, there's a lot here in my notes, and we have not actually finished, but we have at least gotten far. All right. Thank you so much.
I want to appreciate it. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Any last words, or I just proceed?
People should just carry me along when next you people are going. It seems like we're not doing it together. I'm part of it. So I'm bringing the passion to life right now.
Okay, so the three of us were also on a panel on Thursday. Like when they told me about it, because I had already reached out to you.
Yes.
I'd already reached out to them to say we'll do this today, and then someone else, a group, reached out to the three of us again, and I was like, okay, what's happening here? So we'll just be rolling
for the next one. The money matters.
We need to go and find that money.
That money matters. Please carry me along
together. Now I'm your mentee.
I need to be there.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. And remember, we have Candid Conversations every last Sunday of the month. Okay, and we bring insightful topics. We bring amazing guests. You learn, we glean from them on how to make relationships better, and also to help singles to find the right partner, the right one, factory fitted for you. You cannot be zuzuing. You cannot go and be carrying oversized or undersized. You need to know how to find the right partner. Stories that touch, to avoid being carried to that place where you know. Okay, so God will help us and would all enjoy bliss in our relationships and in our marriages. Thank you so much for being here today, and until we come your way again next month, that will be October, right? Last Sunday in October by 6 p.m. I remain Liz, and this remains Candid Conversations with Liz. And my last words always is love is a beautiful thing. All you need to do is nurture it and watch it blossom. Thank you and good night.